If you plan on putting poo in your vegetable garden, then I have something really important to share with you, so pay attention to this. Now, by poo, I mean manure, I mean excrement, because that's been used in gardening and farming for hundreds or even thousands of years. And up until now, that has always been a very safe and effective practice for growing vegetables. But something has changed. Actually, something in the manure has changed that could actually hurt your plants. And that is weed killers. Namely, we're talking about two different chemicals, one of them being dicamba and the other one being 2,4-D. And what's happening is animals are being fed plants that have been sprayed with these chemicals. So maybe it's hay that has been grown out in a field and they've sprayed a broadleaf weed killer on that hay, or it could be something that was sprayed onto the silage that those animals are consuming in a barn. Now, see, the thing is, these chemicals don't hurt the cattle at all. They can eat that and survive just fine. But those chemicals actually don't break down inside the guts of the animals. And they will end up passing all the way through the animal and persisting in the poo. And then, whenever you take that manure, put it in a garden, it gets picked up by the roots of your vegetable plants, especially things that are very sensitive to those chemicals, such as tomatoes and pepper plants. And it's not only coming from animal poo, it's also coming from different sources of compost. So, if your compost has been sourced from something like lawn clippings or any other type of plant that has potentially been sprayed with 2,4-D, dicamba, or possibly even glyphosate, then these chemicals can persist even through the composting process and end up hurting your plants. And so we'll end up with these cases where I will see home gardeners and they will bring me samples of their vegetable plants that are showing signs of chemical burn or they're showing signs of damage from broadleaf weed killer. And they will tell me that nothing has been sprayed anywhere near their vegetable plants. And they're telling the truth. They have not been spraying any of these broadleaf weed killers anywhere near their plants, but because it was in the soil that they put into their raised beds or their gardens, it's now getting picked up by those plants and showing its ugly head in the plant itself. So, how can you avoid this as a homeowner? Should you abandon using manure or compost altogether? Well, I've actually got good news for you. So, here locally to Wichita Falls, Texas, I did find a company, Nutrients, that does a really good job of creating a product that's going to be free of those weed killers. So, in order to properly vet this company and this product, I actually did a few different things. Number one is I talked with the rancher and asked them all kinds of questions about what exactly these cows are eating. Next, he put me in touch with the farmer that actually grows the hay and the silage that is being fed to these cows. And they themselves assured me that no weed killer was being sprayed onto the feed that the cows were eating, and they have no plans of doing that for the foreseeable future. And if that wasn't enough, I actually took several bags of this product and I planted lots of different vegetables directly into it just to make sure that they would properly grow and not exhibit any signs of weed killer damage. All that being said is you're going to have to be a little bit more careful from here on out with the compost and manure that you purchase. So that might be just talking to the owner of the store or the source from where that soil came from. Or if that's not possible, you could also do your own composting at home to ensure that you know what ingredients are going into it. Or if you do find a new product and it's hard to find out any information about it, you could conduct some small scale grow tests just to make sure that your plants will grow in there just fine without any problems. So, unfortunately, there is some bad news regarding poo, but the good news is that it's not all bad, so you can find some good quality poo near you.